fine. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh God! Why didn't anybody tell me? No, no, please, no more, no more. I'm scared. I don't want to. I don't want to.
In the past, when Wargaming console, World of Tanks console would implement a change that a lot of people kind of didn't like, I would say we would go through this period of getting used to the idea, and then eventually we would basically get used to the idea. And we had a period where the game was renamed World of Tanks War Stories, and we had that annoying every time we loaded in, the intro would crack into that, you know, narrative. I can't remember what it was, and it was just annoying as hell, and you'd instantly kind of skip over it. But you know, not that many people played War Stories, but you can understand, and everybody understood why the game mode was introduced. And on my channel, for instance, I have 2 videos of me playing War Stories, and they're the most popular vids on my channel, without question. And I expected that to happen, because I think a lot of people kind of don't get that, you know, the number of new players, etc., etc. There's a lot of them. There always seems to be, there always will be, and that's a good thing. You know, they're bringing in new players all the time, and we need new players, you know, new fresh blood. So you have to kind of rebrand the game and reinvent the game for them. And then we had the mercenaries. A lot of people hated that, me myself included. I thought it was I didn't mind the tanks per se, but the crews and the portraits of the crews, especially the guy with the one glass eye, and he was making that heart sign with his hands, and I thought it was really cheap and tacky and all of that stuff. And we had tanks such as the Banana Buster, which was OMG, but eventually we got used to it. Eventually we just simply got used to it, and I don't know if did we accept it. Is accepting right, because there's decent tanks that are mercenary tanks. You know, you have the machine, and you have the turtle, you have the, what is it, the tank, which I love, the TANK, but a lot of people hate that tank, so yeah, what can you do? But we all go through like this period of just getting used to it, and eventually we kind of let it slide, we accept it. Maybe, like I said, maybe that's too strong a word. We just kind of, for the most part, we just get used to it. And now we have WrestleMania. Now we have WrestleMania. It's like, and Wargaming seem to like to take us down this. They they love taking us down these rabbit holes, and we're like, we don't want to go down this rabbit hole, we're scared. And they're like, no, it's fine, it's warm, it's fuzzy here, come with us. I'm like, I don't want to go. Well, you have to. Yeah, I know. And I put a post up on the forums where I kind of where I kind of compared this to being in a relationship with like an abusive partner, because honestly, this is kind of like deja vu with my ex-wife, who was an abusive Nazi, and we won't go there. We're not going to talk about that. But I'm sure we're not talking about my ex-wife. but with like abusive partners, they take you to a new level, a new low, and you kind of acclimatize and you get used to the idea, and you don't want to be taken to this level, and but you kind of normalize it, and you say everything's okay. You lie to yourself. You say everything's okay, and while there are people around you saying this is not okay, and you're like la 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 la, it's okay, it's fine, and it's like it's not okay, and it's only when you kind of leave, you quit, and you come out the other side, and you say to yourself, "Wow, that was what was I thinking? I was nuts. What? How come I didn't say no? Enough is enough. Stop." And this is how I feel with WrestleMania, honestly. And I did my best. I tried to give up the game, and I got a game pass because I said I logged in, and I didn't log in. I didn't even bother logging in. I saw on a stream the very first day, because you know the update took forever, and I went to bed, and I was like, I'm not waiting around forever for this update on day one. And like early in the morning, I went on somebody's stream and I saw the garage, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. No way am I doing this. That is crossing the line. That is so tacky. That is tacky. Well, that is whoa. That is mega tacky. So I got myself a game pass, and I got I tried out a whole bunch of games, but I don't know. It all seems very samey to me. The games out there. Not praising World of Tanks, saying it's totally different above all of these games. A lot of the games, there's a steep learning curve and all of this jazz, and it's like, do I want to do this all over again? I've already got a game, World of Tanks, and I can't be bothered. I can't be asked. Like Metro seemed very, samey. Halo was nice, and but I've played Halo, and the racing games, they just don't hold the sparkle that they did once for me. And I'm continuously waiting for Microsoft Simulator to come out. I'm guessing it's not going to come out till the new console arrives, etc. But yeah, so I tried walking away, and I kind of just bit the bullet, did the update, and closed my eyes when the garage popped up and went into game, and I was happy. I was back to playing my lovely game, World of Tanks, etc. But WrestleMania, I honestly, it's just too much. And with regards to what I mentioned before, I don't think there'll ever be a time when I will, me personally, and keep in mind, these are just my thoughts, my opinions, and all of that jazz. There's never going to be a time when I'm going to be used to having WrestleMania in the game. Absolutely not. Every time the loading screen pops up and I see those wrestlers, and I've got nothing against wrestling, American wrestling, etc. It's just cringe. It's just, I don't know, like dollar signs flash up before me, and it's just wrong. And basically, I just don't see the connection. We had the movie Fury. There's a connection. We had the anime Tanks. There's a connection. We had the Brett Pearson Tanks. He did Tanko. There's a connection. There's always like a connection. With this, I don't see a connection. There was one vid of a wrestler where he made an entrance in a tank in Russia, and I was saying to myself, they must have been searching high and low. We got to find a wrestler that did something with a tank. Maybe he pissed up against it on his break. Something. Find anything. And they found. Oh, thank God, we found a connection. That's not really a connection. WrestleMania and World of Tanks 100% do not connect, in my personal opinion. And to me, this is very cheap and very cheesy and very tacky. And I'm not saying WrestleMania is cheesy and cheap and tacky. It is what it is. Each to his own. People like different folks, different strokes, and all of that stuff. And with me personally, when I was a teenager, I remember seeing WrestleMania for the first time, and I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. It's kind of like Mike Tyson, but he's dressed as Batman. How could this not be the greatest thing? And then somebody said to me that it wasn't real. Like, I remember literally like a week later, it wasn't real. And he said, it's all just theatre. And my interest just went straight to zero. It just went, it's all staged. It's acted. It's not real. Oh. And it wasn't like I didn't like the thing anymore. It's just like I lost interest because, you know, I thought it was for realsies, and I liked it for about a week until somebody told me it wasn't real. So, and that was my stint of you know, showing interest in WrestleMania. But until I found out it was fake, I think I was around 15 years old or something like that. I was like, wow, I'm going to get all the figures and everything, and nah, you know. And I think it's I think it's somewhat irresponsible to go this far with a sponsor that is so out there. I think Jim Sterling, for instance, would have a field day if he would be kind of interested in making a vid, you know, with game tie-ins, etc., etc. A vid about that, because this really is weird. It's very odd. And honestly, I feel... Can I burp? Oh, let me burp. Honestly, I feel sorry. I don't feel sorry. I feel it's unfair towards the community contributors that they've done this, because quite frankly, I'm sure there's a lot of them out there that feel this is cheap and tacky and awful, and they're just like, you know what, I'm not even going to touch this. I'm not even going to talk about this. I'm not even going to discuss this, because it's really unfair that they've kind of put this like burden on our shoulders, and you know, I don't accept. I'm not even going to talk about this, you know. So it's unfair that they've put them in the unfortunate position of having to stick up for a product that has all of a sudden went all McDonald's-y. You know, all of a sudden went from, I don't know, a pretty decent suave French restaurant to, you know, a greasy kebab place. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But I'm not going to say it is what it is, because it isn't. It's awful. It really is cheap. It really is tacky, in my personal opinion. Absolutely 100%. And it's embarrassing. I forgot to use that word. It's embarrassing. You know, if the PC players... When the PC players find out about this, well, I'm sure they know about this, but they're going to be... You know, and I'm sure there's horrible, cheap, tacky, horrible stuff that the PC side game does and gets up to, but I'm sure they don't have wrestling in there. Yeah, and it's yeah, and they've done this before, where they don't discuss it, they don't want to comment about it, you know. Any negative posts on the forums, you know, the moderators, the this, the that, they you know, they don't venture into those posts, they don't make any comments whatsoever. And I've seen quite a number of polls asking the players' opinions on the forums with regards to WrestleMania, and it's overwhelmingly just negative. No. And it's funny, because it kind of reminds me of like when Mines was turned into became tier 10 again, and we had a whole bunch of, you know, people expressing their opinions on the forums, people putting up polls on the forums, should mine stay at tier 10? And sometimes, you know, when you express opinion on the forums, the only people that will comment are people that kind of agree with you, and the people that don't agree with you tend to stay away because they don't want to be, you know, bullied and jumped all over. Yeah, how can you think that? You know, in this post we all think this way. You know, so number of times like people put up polls asking, do you think mine should stay at tier 10? And they were fully expecting, of course not. You know, because these polls were being put up by people who didn't think, you know, mines fit at tier 10, and then you'd cast your vote and instantly it will show, you know, the results thus far, and overwhelmingly they were saying mines at tier 10 is fine, you know. Then gradually the whole mines at tier 10 just went away because you realise, you know, the majority of people think it's fine. There's nothing wrong with mines being at tier 10, and well, this drama, this negative drama, whatever you want to call it, this negative publicity, not publicity, player feedback with WrestleMania, I don't think it's ever going to go away. I don't, you know, while it's in game, and the way they're dealing with it is the way they're dealing with it. They're kind of just like they're not dealing with it. That's how they, you know, the vid. For the WrestleMania World of Tanks collaboration has got a whole bunch of dislikes. The comments are turned off, so they're just going into, it's not even denial mode, and I'm not being critical here, you know, they're stuck in a contract. They made up their minds, and I'm sure they're people at Wargaming, you know, employees that thought exactly what I thought. This is cheap, this is tacky, this is lame, this does not connect, this does not work, and but, you know, and they're just, you know, hunkering down and just trying to see out the storm until it all finishes, until it all ends. And but there is there was an interview with TJ Wagner, the executive producer, and there was I'll put the quote up on screen, but possibility of more Summer of Sam, Summer of Sam, SummerSlams, SummerSlam, Summer of Sam, Summer of Sam. Yeah, that's really good. Summer of Sam, the Summer of Sam. That's what it feels like. The Summer of Sam. I wasn't alive when Summer of Sam. For those of you who don't know, it was like a summer of this serial killer, like murdering people. Everybody was scared. But yeah, he hinted at the prospect of more WrestleMania after the August, whatever it is. What is it? August the 21st date when the first season ends, and you know. So yes. So, a lot of talking there, a lot of stuff to discuss, a lot of stuff to yeah. With regards, okay, we're done with that. Yeah, we're done with that. I have not bought the pass. Initially, I was gonna get the basic pass. I even had a video kind of showcasing what each of the passes get you, and even though, you know, I was kind of initially against the pass, because how can you have a pass on top of premium time that is on top of Xbox Live? You know, three different payments to play one game that is supposedly free, you know. And I understand it, you know, how can a game be free? It's never really free. It has to pay for itself somehow. So, but three different layers of payment on one game to play. But so yeah, I was. But then when I saw the ring, I was like, no. I haven't bought. So I'm not buying anything. And I think at the end of the ops, I get is it the tier 8 medium? And possibly maybe I might sell it. I don't know. I never sell premiums. I must really keep it, you know, just in case. You know, duplicates in war chests and all of that. So yeah. So, but enough about that bollocks. Let's talk about the update. The update is really cool. I love the update. It's very nice. The visuals are absolutely stunning, and honestly, it was kind of, the visuals are beautiful, but I've seen the visual before, because when you play the visuals that are like that, the first game I played was on Fisherman's Bay, and instantly when you load it in, you could see the difference, you know, the lush vegetation. But the thing is, when you play Proving Grounds PvE mode, that's what the game looks like on there, you know. That's what the game looks like. And so it wasn't like, I'm not saying I was like bored of it or something, but it was, I said to myself, I bet it looks like what it looks like on PvE, because on PvE, whenever I would play, like occasionally once in a blue moon for whatever reason, I would say, wow, if only the game looked like this. And I understood why the game looked like that on that game mode, because you know, the game didn't have to compensate for, you know, 30 players running around and doing random stuff, each and every one of them. So the visuals so far are absolutely stunning, are absolutely gorgeous, are absolutely beautiful. I like how they kind of simplify some things, like, you know, you can buy your premium tanks back in the tech tree. You can report someone now. That's nice. In game, and you know, I always thought those processes were cumbersome and way too kind of old school. You submit a ticket for something simple as that. I love the fact that, you know, we have the PS4 crowd here. I have not noticed any difference between the PS4 players and the Xbox players. I love the fact that the population of the game has grown substantially. Did I say that like Quickie Baby? I love that because, you know, I'm an early morning gamer. Early morning, that sounds naughty. You know, 7 o'clock in the morning, like on the weekend, I'll be up and I'll be playing. And usually I'll have to go on, whatchamacallit, on the US servers. I would have to go on the US servers initially, then around 9-10 a.m. I'd switch over to UK servers, but the last 2-3 mornings I've been playing, I'm off at the moment. There's plenty of players. And when today I've been playing, it's been like, I'd say it's been like 60-70% PS4 players. You know, majority is PS4 players. There is what else? And we have the numbers now to do +1, -1. I mean, if they're gonna do unpopular stuff, why don't they do popular stuff as well? If they're gonna do unpopular, I mean, do popular stuff for the game. Do +1, -1. I mean, that is massive for the game. That would, you know, simplify the game so much. That would draw in players so much. That would bring back old players so much. That would be serious bragging rights to the Blitz crowd, to the PC crowd. You know, we have +1, -1 matchmaking, mother trucker. What do you got? You know, you got a gold, the Type 59. We got +1, -1. You know, why not? You've got the numbers now. You can do it. You can do it. Try it out for a week. Try it out for a month, and see how it goes. It would be, it would be a thing of beauty. You know, honestly. Or maybe it wouldn't. What the hell do I know? Maybe it wouldn't. But honestly, it would just, it'd bring tears to my eyes if they did it. But like I said, who knows? It might bring up some unforeseen problems, something we never kind of counted on, something we never, you know, we didn't anticipate, possibly, maybe. But why not? You know, what is the big deal? You've got the numbers now. You know, I see the numbers. They've doubled. They've even beyond doubled. You can do it now. Do +1, -1. What is the big deal? Anyhow. But one last thing, one last negative point, and it's not that much of a big deal. But it's kind of minor, but it's kind of big at the same time. We've always had the same system in the game for 6 years, where there's a period between the final kill of the game and the victory graphic popping up. It's about 3, 4, 5 seconds. Did that scare you? Because it scared me. This is what he does. This is what he does. He just scares the bejesus out of me. But we're live. This is for realsies. And if I had a gun, I'd shoot him. Snoop! Shh! He's got to protect me, you see. So there was... I'm not editing this out. Now, first he was looking to the left. Now he's looking to the right. He thinks everybody's coming to attack our house. Snoop! Come here. Good boy, good boy. That's enough. Okay, we shall now try. We shall now attempt. So there was this period between the final kill of the game and the victory graphic popping up. And calm down. And during this period, yeah, we'd signal good game, affirmative, thank you, this or that. Not everybody, but a few people would. And I think it was kind of neat because it was we were giving ourselves virtual high five, saying good game, you know. Especially it usually used to happen like when we swarm onto the final player of the red team and we all each get like a shot onto them, and finally they'll be dead, and all of a sudden affirmative, good game, you know, would pop up. And it's like I said, it's not that much of a big deal, but it was kind of, it brought together the team for a split second, and it was kind of cool. And then we went into the loading screen. This is now gone because soon as the final kill happens now in game, the victory graphic pops up straight away. You know, you don't have a chance to signal good game, you don't have a chance to signal anything. There's no time because it's instant. I think it's even on like team deathmatch, it's even quicker. I think it's a little bit slower, but you on the standard mode. But even so, you just don't have time to signal anything, and it's not that big a deal. It's like a minor thing, but there wasn't. Even though you're in a team, there's not that much camaraderie between the team. We do help each other out, but the moment when we do come together as a team is at the end when we get the victory, of course, and especially during those few seconds when we signal to each other, good game, you know, affirmative, and because affirmative is kind of like it's like a way of saying good game, because you don't have, some people aren't that quick, they can't signal good game that quick, so I myself included, I just signal affirmative real quick, and that was kind of like code for good game, you know, to all the other compadres in team, and also it was kind of, it would also come into play if you were dead and you were an armchair general, so to speak. Not an armchair general, if you watched the game play out and you'd see somebody on your team carry that game to victory, and you'd thank them by highlighting where they were at the end of the game. It was kind of like a signal to them, I was watching you, you did fantastic. And of course you can send them a GG, and I usually do after game. But it was kind of cool because, you know, if I would like carry my team to victory and it was only me left, and right before the victory graphic popped up, somebody would highlight me, you know, on the screen, it means they were watching me the whole time and they weren't spamming me, you know, with advice saying go here, go, you know, do that, do this, etc. So this is gone now, and it's not a mistake or something, but it's a shame that it's gone. You know, it's a shame that the victory graphic pops up so quick. I wish they'd bring back that little delay, etc., etc. I do like that they have the timer now, when it reaches 0, it's 0. Because I don't know if you're aware of this, there's like a secondary timer as well as the cap timer, or there's an additional like 3 seconds once that timer hits 0, and there's an additional 3 seconds, and it's kind of like, it felt like there was a hidden timer, which you can't see. It's a hidden timer, and 0 didn't really mean 0. So I'm glad they got rid of that, and but I'm not glad that they got rid of that delay where you can signal to your teammates, good game. So anyhow, but apart from the wrestling bonanza, apart from the Summer of Sam, really great update. I really, it feels like, you know, when the Xbox One got launched, you know, that's what it felt like. Not as big, not as major, but yeah, so it's so cool to have the PS4 players here. It's so cool. It's so cool because it's just boosted the player population, and it, you know, honestly, we're just all console players now. So it really, because I've been playing quite a few games, and I just don't see any difference between the PS4 players and the Xbox players. They're just as good, just as bad, just as this, just as that. They're just, you know, and so we're just all console players, you know, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And all of a sudden, our population has doubled in size, so it's great. I don't have to go over to the NA servers at you know, 7 o'clock in the morning, which is like, well, it depends where you are in the States. It's around midnight-ish, you know, in the States, where, in other words, try-hard players, you know. So I might rather play, you know, with regular people. So, but anyway, a great update, beautiful, lush graphics, you know, on the proc, on Fisherman's Bay, and I can't remember the other maps. The brand new map is nice, but we, you know, we need to get used to that, and it's looks like it's a kind of based on Airfield. Airfield isn't it's not a bad map at all, but it's based on Airfield, but it's different from Airfield. So, but you need to figure it out. You know, I need to figure it out before. Yeah, I can't even say, is it a corridor map? Is it an open map? Is it this map? It does seem to have that, you know, like the Airfield, that open area up north, and blah blah blah. But very lush, lots of vegetation, so very pretty, and all of that jazz. But wrestling, no, big thumbs down. Sorry, no, I'm never gonna get used to it. And if they do another season, oh my lord. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed my ramblings. Hope you enjoyed the doggo. That's Snoopy. He's a cockapoo. Go and Google what a cockapoo looks like. He looks like a big, humongous teddy bear. I have to trim him. I have to give him a haircut. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, happy days. Hopefully I'll start making vids on a regular basis, and again, and then run out of steam in a couple of weeks, and yeah, all of that jazz. So take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos.